Hello everyone. This video will show the general rule for transformation of function. That includes the piecewise functions. If y is equal to f of x is a function, then the equation in graphing form, transformations of this function, can be written as y equals a f of b of x minus h plus k, where our a, b, h, and k are parameters. We remember that the parameter a vertically stretches or compresses the graph, while the parameter b horizontally stretches or compresses the graph. On the other hand, this parameter a vertically reflects the graph. So it's going to reflect the graph upside down, while the b reflects the graph horizontally. So it's going to reflect the graph side to side. On the other hand, our parameter h horizontally translates the graph, while the k will vertically translate the graph. So using this equation that we have right here, so how do we transform a piecewise function? Now let's look at some examples. In this example, we are given the graph of f of x. So this is an example of a piecewise function. We are supposed to sketch the graph of f of x minus 2. In order that we can do that, we're supposed to plot lattice points on this function. Again, lattice points means these are points on the Cartesian coordinate plane whose x and y values are integer. So an example of a lattice point would come from here. So this is an example of a lattice point because that's a -8, -3. And we also have this dot right here. This is another example of lattice points. So I would plot some lattice points on this function. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is to determine the coordinates of these points. So we start with this. This is -8, -3. So that's -8, -3. Again, this is our x and this is our f of x or y. The second dot here is our x is -7 and 0 for the y. So -7 and 0. Now I will determine the coordinates for the rest of these dots. I'm going to go ahead and write that down here. Okay, the next step that we are going to do is since we say this is f of x minus 2, we are going to determine our x minus 2 first. So that means whatever the value of x, we're going to subtract 2 to it. So this would be -8 minus 2 is -10. -7 minus 2 is -9. -6 minus 2 is -8. -4 minus 2 is -6. And I will do the rest of these blanks right here. Okay, the next thing that we are going to do is to determine f of x minus 2. So I'm going to go ahead and write that as the heading right here. So that's f of x minus 2. What does this mean? Since we already have an x minus 2 here, this means this is actually f of -10. So that's f of -10. We also have f of -9. And then we have f of -8. And I will do the rest for these blanks here. Okay, to determine the value for each of these values in this column right here, we are going to look at the original graph. It means f of -10. So if our x is -10, what is the value for y? So that would be -9. So I'm going to go ahead and write -9 right here. We also have f of -9. So -9 is sitting on -6. So I'm going to write -6 here. And then we also have f of -8. So 5, 6, 7, 8. F of -8 is -3. And then we also have f of -6. So -6 is +3. So again, these values are from the original graph. We also have f of -4. -4 is, that's going to be +2. And then we also have f of -3. 1, 2, -3. And then this is approximately 1.5. And then we also have f of negative 2. So negative 1, negative 2. That's a positive 1. And then f of negative 1 is a positive 2. And then f of 0 is positive 3. The next step is to sketch the graph of f of x minus 2. And this is like our y value. And this is like our x value. So I'm going to go ahead and pair these two up together. Negative 8 and negative 9. So that's negative 8. And then I go down to negative 9. So the first dot is going to sit right here. The next dot would be negative 7, negative 6. Negative 7, negative 6. So it's going to sit right here. And then the third dot will be on negative 6, negative 3. So negative 6, down negative 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's going to sit here. And then our fourth dot would be negative 4, positive 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, positive 3. 1, 2, 3. So it's going to sit right here. The next dot would be negative 2, positive 2. So 1, 2, positive 2, 1, 2, up to right here. And then the next dot is negative 1 and 1.5. So negative 1 and 1.5 should sit somewhere around here. And then the next dot is 0 and 1. So it's going to sit here. And then we also have 1 and positive 2. Then it's going to sit right here. And then 2 and positive 3. So it's going to sit right here. I'm going to go ahead and connect these dots together. If you notice, the red graph here has moved 2 units to the right. And this makes sense because we have an x plus 2. This means our h here is a positive 2. That means the graph has been translated 2 units to the right. And that makes sense because this dot here has moved 2 units right. This one has moved 2 units right. The same thing for this. And then the rest of the dots here. So this dot has moved 2 places to the right. 1, 2. That's it. If you find this video helpful, consider hitting the like button and consider subscribing for more math videos. See ya!